What's up, YouTube? 2010 is over. So I wanted to do this video to show you my top Blu-rays of 2010, and then I kind of wanted to do TV seasons, even though I don't have that many from 2010, but these are like my top 4. But I wanted to do the Blu-rays first because there's 12 of them, and then I only have 4 TV seasons. So, and the Blu-rays are not in any order, they're just there. And then I'll tell you a reason why why it's in this list, and why and I have so many other ones that are not in this list, and then these ones are awesome because they made it in the list. Alright, so let's get started with a definite favorite of a lot of people, and that is Toy Story 3. This movie touched a lot of people's hearts. It was a great ending to the Toy Story franchise, and I think that it's in my list because I grew up with these movies, and to see it actually come back whenever I'm older and still being able to love it, as from whenever I was like 2, from now like to 13, I'm amazed. And I think that this is the type of movie that nobody cannot just love, and it touched my heart as well for the final chapter in Toy Story. And I didn't want to see it to end, but all great things have to come to an end, right? Okay, the next one is a book we read in school. We went and saw a play for school. We saw a different movie version, and then I asked for this version for Christmas, and I was so excited to get it, and it actually was pretty good. And that is A Christmas Carol. This movie, it was very good. Disney touched a lot of the same parts that I was wanting. They kept a lot of great things from the book that was actually really awesome. And I think that whenever a movie can do that, it makes the movie so much more enjoyable. And this is in my list because the how alike the book and the movie are, and how much I enjoyed the book to how much I enjoyed the movie was awesome. And that's why it's in my list. This is a great movie. Definitely check it out. The next one, some kind of people were on the fence about it. Some people were like, it's weird, I didn't get it. Some people were like, oh my gosh, it's hysterical. And then you have some people are like, don't really know. I was the person who loved the movie, and that was Easy A. The movie was hysterical. I loved it. It was very, very, very good. Except if you watch the trailer, this movie's not like the trailers. And this is in my list just because this is a really good comedy. It has to be probably my favorite comedy, one of my favorite comedies of 2010, definitely. And Emma Stone, she became one of my favorite actresses just because of this movie. So yeah, Easy A, definitely pick it up. Or rent it at least. And this one was on a bunch of people's lists. And I definitely know why now, because I watched it, and then that movie is The Town. God, I love this movie. I watched the theatrical version, but I loved the theatrical. This movie was amazing. Yes, it's long. Yes, if you're sitting there for 25 minutes, you're thinking you're sitting there for an hour, but when you're really not. Yes, the movie drags a little bit, but it drags for a good reason, and I love that. Ben Affleck did a great job directing this, and this movie's in my list because of the direction and because of the story. And that's all because of Ben Affleck. So if he didn't, if he didn't write it or direct it, this movie wouldn't have been on my list. Next up is probably some people didn't like this a lot. I did, and that is Step Up 3. I love this movie, and this is in my list because I thought it was great, but I still think the second one was better. But that's just me. But yeah, I really did love this movie. But the next one was probably in a lot of people's lists, and that movie is Inception. and this movie was phenomenal. I didn't rewatch it, but like a lot of people say you need to. I didn't rewatch it yet, but I saw it in theaters, and I thought that it was amazing. But I didn't really get it, but it's in my list because of the acting, because of the story, even though I didn't really get the story, but whatever. Next up is a favorite movie of mine, it probably always will be, and that is Avatar. Do I even have to explain why this is in my list? Don't really have to. But yeah. Next one, a lot of people didn't like. Oh my god, that's funny. Okay, a lot of people didn't like this one. I thought it was hysterical, and that is Vampires Suck. For being a big fan of the Twilight Saga, I think that they did a good job spoofing this, and I like to laugh at the stuff I like. Like my friend goes and does something really stupid, I think I'm gonna laugh, even though I like the kid. I'm still gonna laugh. Like I laugh at the stuff that I like too. But yeah, this movie was awesome. I liked it a lot. And what's kind of funny is the next one on the list is what they're making fun of, and that would be Eclipse. This was the best one out of the whole saga so far. We had Breaking Dawn in 2011, so not towards like the end of the year, but whatever. But yeah, this movie was so good. I loved it. I think the pacing was a little fast, but this is in my list because I just loved it. Like, I really don't know why it was in my list. I just felt something. This next one, surprisingly, I didn't see in a bunch of people's lists, and kind of surprised me. And then that is Michael Jackson's "This Is It." This is in my list because I think this was a good last moment for Michael Jackson's fans. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was a good last little thing for everybody to see, and just to see how of his concert would have been if he was alive. It was awesome. And I'm gonna try to hurry up and do the last two because I'm on to 7 minutes already. The next one is The Karate Kid, the remake. This is in my list because it is a great story of perseverance and like wanting something so bad that you would work this hard to get it, and I think that that's what everybody's goal should be. And this just shows you. And then my last one on Blu-ray movie is Alice in Wonderland. This movie is in my list because of how they set it up, because it was so weird and different than any Alice in Wonderland that I've ever seen, and then that like popped out right to me. Johnny Depp did an amazing job. What's her name? It's Mia something. She did a fantastic job as Alice. Everybody just did a fantastic job in this movie, and this movie really stands out. Okay, that was it for part 1 because I'm running on to 8 minutes so far, and I don't want to drag it out anymore. So let's make part 2, and then that will be the TV show.